Hi everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a Wonderkid from Greece. He was boosted in the winter update and now he is a top tier player, someone who I think we're going to talk about in our Wonderkid lists for years to come. He's a top prospect, he's really good in game 2, so we're going to go take a look at him today and see how he gets on. Just quickly before we roll the intro and get straight into the video, I'd just like to ask you guys, if you do enjoy today's video then smash that like button. It really helps us out in pushing these videos out to more people and it lets us know that you are enjoying the content. Comment down below if you've heard of this guy, if he's someone that you've been buying or someone who you are going to buy in your saves from now on after seeing how well he does in this video. And finally, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our uploads, and therefore you won't miss any little Wonderkids like this that might sneak under the radar. So with that being said, let's roll the intro and get straight into today's video. Hello guys, and we do have a treat for you today. This player plays for AS PAOK Salonika in Greece. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. They're one of the more reputable teams in Greece and he is seen as a starter player for this club already. As I did mention, he got a boost in the winter update to have a much higher potential range and he is now a very good Wonderkid within the game. It's always cool to see when you find a Wonderkid playing for a nation that isn't necessarily known for like top level footballers. Greece have had a few in the past, but it's kind of gone a bit dead recently in terms of top players coming out of Greek football. So hopefully this guy can be one of them. Now I will put this out there, usually we find a player, do his training, his mentoring and sim a few years ahead, but this is a player who we actually found in a different simulation and basically thought he was so good that we had to do a video on him, and then of course we researched him afterwards, find out how good he can be, and that this is actually quite a regular occurrence for him to be this good. So he was actually found in our Yusufa Mokoku video, which was probably a few weeks back now. We found him in the simulation there and he was a star player for one of the best clubs in the world, and we basically never heard of him. And I've kept you guys waiting long enough, so here is the guy that we're talking about. It's the 18-year-old Greek international Christoph Tzoulis. We are going to be simulating until 2030 because again this is from the Mokoku simulation, so we've got all the save files already. Therefore, because he wasn't actually like part of our plans, we weren't doing the training or mentoring, and because he wasn't at our club, we won't be able to see the usual thing where you can go to development, progress, we go to attributes and you can see all the green arrows that he's got. We won't be able to see that in this video, else we'd have to run a whole another 10-year simulation. And really I don't think we need to, because I think the simulation that we will show you today does do a good job of displaying what kind of player this guy is. But just be aware of that. We'll keep an eye on his attributes anyway, but you won't be able to see the little green arrows like we usually do. But with that being said, it is quite a testament to this player that he can be so good without like hands-on mentoring, training, without hands-on management. He still goes on to be a top tier player. So what kind of player are we looking at here? Well, he's a left winger, also a striker if you want to use him there. He is right footed, so he's best suited to the inverted winger and inside forward duties. His passing might need a bit of work, and as with some Wonderkids, obviously the younger they are, the more room they have to grow and the more you can kind of mould them. Tzoulis is already 18, so he's already missed a few years of development, so there's less time for you guys to like, oh, completely change him to be, I want him to be a strong striker or something. We can't do that with him here. He's already kind of set in his ways, but I think he's got some really good base attributes. We won't go into every single one to be a really good player. He's got a nice personality as well, nothing amazing, nothing too bad either though. Mentally pretty good, physically quite good for a winger, and technically also quite a good all-round player. Now he is a regular starter for PAOK and he isn't readily available because his contract has only just been signed, so I'd suggest keeping an eye on him. But in saves I've done, you can approach him straight away for about £15 million. Might be quite a lot for the kind of player we're looking at here. They originally wanted about 25 and we whittled it down with a few add-on clauses. So £50 million straight away might not be the best thing for this guy. I'd suggest he's one where maybe scout him, see how he gets on, and then eventually bring him to your club. Ranked as a 3-star player for PAOK with 5-star potential ability. His only cons are that he has work to do in the heading department. A good pro that he does have is that he's very consistent. He's seen as a consistent performer, and as we've shown in a video previously, consistency plays a big part in how well players can do in game. So now we're going to simulate a few years into the future, see how he's got on in his first few years at PAOK before he gets a big move away. Has he done good? Has he reached his potential? I can tell you this guy does very, very well. Okay guys, here we are in 2022. Tzoulis has had 2 years at PAOK. Let's see how he has got on, and I can tell you that he has done very, very well for his side. Here he is now 20 years old, had 16 caps for the Greek international team, scoring 4 goals. We don't have him scouted, but he is classed already as a 4.5-star inverted winger or inside forward. I think he'd do a very good job at both. This guy has had a pretty strong bit of growth. He is now classed as a Wonderkid, still has the same trait, seems to be a bit quicker and a bit more agile. Mentally he seems to have got rid of any weak points that he has and they're all now green, which is very good. and then technically is where he really shines with good dribbling, good first touch, nice long shots and technique, with also some very good finishing for a left-sided player, and you can see why he might be a very good striker too. Alongside those good mentals, he should be quite good at scoring goals. Passing is probably his only weak point right now, but he is classed as a star player within a couple of years, still hasn't got a new deal at PAOK, and he will actually get a move after this season is completed. You can see we're not quite there just yet, but he does get a move at the end of the season to one of the 3 teams he's interested in here. I'll keep you guys guessing as to which one he does join, but we can see he is developing into a very nice player. Career stats wise, we can see first season, 18 games played, 4 PAOK, 5 goals, 2 assists, and a 7.61 average match rating. He's then gone and beat that the next season. A few more appearances, but way more goals, more assists, and a much higher average rating too. That's a super high average rating for a winger. I quite often find that like inside forwards and things like that don't do very well in terms of average rating. Maybe in the update that's changed, but yeah, I'm just very surprised at how well this guy's done at such a young age. You could argue, yes, it's only in the Greek league, but we're going to see how he does go on and perform in the top leagues, go into the Premier League. As you can see, 3 Premier League teams interested. He does go to one of them, so let's find out who and let's find out how his career gets on after the age of 20. So to any of you guys that did guess Manchester City, you would have been right. He did go on and move to Manchester City. We're in 2025 now. As you can see, we did lose our job in this simulation, which we had to actually dip it back a year if I remember right, but it doesn't matter anyway. We can see overall how Tzolis is getting on. So if you do see a little change in maybe the amount of goals and assists scored, it's because we did eventually have to roll it back 1 year for the Mokoku simulation. I think the reason was, if I remember right, we forgot to actually sign any players for Dortmund, so eventually all the contracts expired and we just had no squad and got sacked. That might be the reason for it, but yeah, if you do see a little blip in the way that his assists and goals go, because it might say one season they were on 12, and then when we look at it later, you might see that actually in 2024 he scored 10. But despite that, it shouldn't matter because Tzolis does become a very, very good player no matter what in this save. And at 23 years old, the Greek international has now played 41 times for his country, scoring 13 goals, and is valued at £72 million. We're going to have a look at how much Man City actually paid for him and how well he's done for Man City so far in probably the hardest league, the most competitive league, I think most people would say, already classed as an elite winger at 23, and physically this guy is really standing out now in terms of how quick he is and how quick he can change direction. At 5'7" with a low centre of gravity, good agility, good dribbling, does kind of remind me of Messi in that way, so maybe the title of this video will be the Greek Messi or something like that, who knows what we'll do. But mentally he is also very strong. I don't think that's really changed too much, maybe he's got better in a few areas, but overall kind of the same. We can see that his technique, first touch and dribbling are all at a very good level now. With good finishing, he's up-leveled his passing a little bit, really good long shots too, and I think he'd make a perfect inside forward inverted winger, especially with that crossing and technique too. We can see that Man City splashed out £31 million for the elite winger Tzolis at the age of about 2021, and he's had a good few years there actually. In terms of goals and assist returns, it's nothing crazy, I wouldn't say. 7 goals, 8 goals, 3 assists, 1 assist, but the average match rating suggests that maybe he's doing a lot more on the pitch than we can see in terms of goals and assists. Maybe he's just running the show out wide. But to play 30 games for Man City at the age of about 20 is very good from the young player, and then another 24 the season after, and then 15 this season, slowly being filtered out of the team quite a lot. So it's not surprising to me that he doesn't play every single game, but we can see the fact that his attributes are so high and he is classed as an elite winger mean that his career has gone really well. So Tzolis has already played for one of the big European superpowers in Manchester City. We're going to see how he gets on now moving club, and we'll next see him in 2030, 5 years on, the end of this simulation. He'll be what, 28, 29? We'll get to see how well he's done in his career, as well as any landmarks that he has achieved by the end of his career. So let's simulate there and we'll see how he's get on. Okay everybody, so here we are at the final point in the simulation, the final point we're going to show you. I'm going to use this as a time just to say to you guys that if you do check the description, you will find a link to my channel down below. It'll mean a lot if you do come and check that out. We have a little save going on, still in the early stages of it right now, so there's not too much to catch up on if you do want to come check it out. And we've just reached 1,500 subscribers on there as well, which is absolutely awesome. We're going to push for 2,000 now. So if you want to come over there, subscribe and watch the content, that would mean a lot. Hopefully you will all enjoy it. But we are here with Christos Tzolis, that's what you guys are here to look at, and he is now a regular starter at Barcelona, earning £185,000 a week, valued at a little less, but that is to be expected. He is now 28, but he looks like a top draw player. And we did make a joke earlier about him being like a Greek Messi. Well, he has now came to Barcelona where he can play left side, right side, down the middle or up front. Does possibly suggest that he has been brought in by Barcelona as some kind of Messi replacement. He's still an elite winger. He's not as quick as he used to be, but as with all things in Football Manager, he will develop in other places too. For example, his flair and off the ball have got a lot better, and I think maybe his crossing's gone up. I don't know the exact exact details of it, but we can see he is still a very good player, and in his prime years, I mean, his international caps to goals ratio has gone up massively. He's now played 91 times, scoring 45 goals. We can see he is now valued at around 80 to 100 million pounds at the age of 28. Obviously, the market has changed as it is 2030, and players are becoming more expensive as time goes on. But I think the fact that this guy is so good and could be picked up for so cheap, and he's been good for so many years, means he is a viable option for a lot of teams to buy on the wing to just be set from 18 to 30 years old. He's going to score goals for you, although as Football Manager players know that we probably sell him by the age he's 26 because we deem it too old. But looking at it realistically, he is a really good player, and I do like the fact that he's not just like good on the ball, he can actually finish and score some nice long shots too with good technique. You quite often find that inside forwards, maybe they're good at one thing but can't shoot, or can shoot but aren't pacey. This guy's got it all. We can see after a bit of time at Man City, he did move for £64 million to Barcelona, where he's been lighting up La Liga on the wing for this Barcelona side. He's become a key player in the last few years, playing 30 odd games a season, getting an average match rating of 7.5, or sometimes, especially in the last few years, way above that, 7.68, 7.79, 7.77, topping even what he did back at PAOK in the day. So this is a very, very good player in game. Again, it's not one where he's getting a crazy amount of goals and assists, although I'd suggest that 32 games, 14 goals, 9 assists is actually really good and a very high number, although maybe not enough to suggest a 7.8 match rating, so he must be doing a lot on the pitch to help the team out. I think in general you can class him as about 10 goals a season with about 5 assists. I mean, he started off around there, slowed down, and then eventually he's gone way above that. So those kind of goal contributions on the wing are quite often quite hard to come by, and the fact that he's picking up such high average match ratings too suggests that he either just works really hard for the team, or there's something that he's so good at, like dribbling, or maybe he's working back for the team and pressing. We can't really tell looking at it this way, but we can see that after 270 appearances in his career for club in the leagues, he has scored 98 goals with 42 assists and 16 man of the matches, a 7.6 average match rating across all of his career. That is very good. I mean, like I say, he moved to Man City at about 20 years old, and then he's gone to Barcelona. He's not done this in poor leagues, in poor competitions. He's been a consistent player who's always playing amazing for whatever team he plays for. We can now check his milestones as we are at the end of our simulation here. We'll start off with, we can see that he did break the Greece record for most goals scored. I don't know if that's an official record or a Football Manager one, but he's done pretty well. He's also apparently Greek captain, and he's by far their best player for Greece. He also became Greece's record player sale, so he's probably one of the best players to ever come out of Greece. I don't really know how he's flew under the radar for so long. Maybe he is a really big name in Greece already, but at least for me, I hadn't really heard of him. If we look at competitions that he has won, we can see that he's won the Champions League, he's won the Super Cup, he's won the Premier League with Manchester City. They did it all really. FA Cup, Carabao Cup runners-up, Carabao Cup winners. Yeah, he went on to win everything he could with Man City. And then at Barcelona, nothing amazing in terms of competitions, but we could see that he was performing as one of their better players since he's joined their club. He was named Player of the Year at PAOK for both years he was there, named in a lot of Premier League Team of the Weeks, won Premier League Young Player of the Year in his first season, inducted into Man City's overall best 11. He was then named in the World Team of the Year when playing for Barcelona, shortlisted for World Footballer of the Year in his next season at Barcelona, and then in his final season at the age of 28, he was voted for Supporters Player of the Year. But we can see Zolis has had a glimmering career for a player that only cost around £13 million. He was someone that's been boosted in the winter update, and is now someone that I imagine in a lot of your saves, you're going to see him regularly becoming a top player. As I've mentioned, we didn't do his training or mentoring here, so you can definitely get better results out of it. And I do promise you that we haven't used the editor to change anything onto Zolis here, any attributes, nothing like that. But we do only use these simulation saves for tests, and I can tell you that on here, his potential ability isn't even maxed out, so he can be a lot better than this. He can be like another 5 current ability higher, so he can go up to a whole nother level than what we are seeing here. So I think we can definitely see this guy becoming one of the world's best players. In this save, he was definitely one of the world's best wingers, one of the world's best players, I'm not so sure, but he is still a top talent for the price you can get him from, and from a league, like I say, that you don't often get a Greek superstar, so if you want one in your team, this might be the guy to get. Christos Zolis. I hope I have been saying his name right, let me know down below if I haven't. I might have even said Christopher a few times actually, thinking about it, but anyway, I do hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, comment down below what you thought of this player. Is he really good? Is he okay? Is he someone that you're going to look for in your saves now? Don't forget to come check out my channel if you would like to see my content, and check out the new Lil save we've got going. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to FM Scout for all of the best Football Manager content. So I've been Jake for FM Scout, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Stay safe and goodbye.